Okay, first I want to give all honor, praises, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, for allowing me to make this video, right? Yahweh being the true name of the Most High, Bahashem meaning in the name of, and Yahushai being the true name of the Most High's only begotten Son, right? You Israelites today, right? You Israelites of the Bible, or you blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, and Latinos, right? You fit the curses listed in Deuteronomy 20th chapter, right? And, we eagerly await our deliverance from this place from, Yahweh Shai. But we got to keep the faith and, hope to be of the elect, because we know that only the elect are going to be saved here in America, while, the great multitude is going to be saved throughout all the earth, right? Through chariots, which is biblically known as, through chariots, which people call today UFOs, right? Now, this video is going to be about, the recent news that we found out, right? It's called the hantavirus, right? Now, a couple days back, I was sleeping, I woke up, went on my phone, and, immediately see the news about, a virus on a cruise ship. And the first thing that came to my mind was, my family plans to go on a cruise ship as well, in 2 years, maybe 3 years time. And, I'm like, damn, bro, like this virus is on a cruise ship now, I can't do that shit, right? Can't do that at all, right? Right? And, it also brings me to, Matthew the 24th chapter. You can also get this in Luke 21, right? And we're going to get that as well, right? For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. This is talk about in the days to come, right? There's already a shortage of food going around, right? I made a video beforehand, right? I'm pretty sure it's due to the war with Iran. The food supply is getting shorter and shorter, right? The pestilences, as we see, this is one of them, right? This is literally one of them. And there was, look, cruise ship hantavirus patients arrive in Europe for treatment. And I would not be surprised if that shit makes it on to here, right, to America, right? But either way, whether it makes it onto America or not, right, which I'm pretty sure most likely will, according to Scripture, right? We already hear it now, right? What's happening in the Holy Land, right? In our Holy Land, first of all, right? What was happening over there? There was a fucking, according to the book of Luke, there was fearful sights, right? Right? What was happening in Israel? Right? There was large viral flocks of crows swarming around, right? And was it really this, or was it something else? Pretty sure it was this, but I think it was also locusts or something, right? But okay, March, April, yeah, cause that was last month. Well, 2 months ago, right? Yeah, look at this, right? Such as swarms of bees attacking in Nineveh in April 2026. I think it was this I was trying to get at. But either way, right, these are fearful signs from, from heaven, right, as it says in Luke 21, right? Let's find that verse. And 11, right? And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places. We already know there's been hella earthquakes these past fucking months, right? And famines and pestilences and fearful sights and great signs shall it be from heaven. Right, this is a sign that Yahweh Shai is slowly making his way. It's gonna make his way. It's gonna return to this place, right? And you even get that in the second address as well, right? Let's try to get that real quick. Where was it at? Might have been. Let's check the chapters real quick. Let's check. Might be in the earlier chapters. It goes something along the lines of, the Lord. He said, when you see these signs, you know that the Most High is, what was it? It's coming. Let me find that. What was the verse, man? The Most High will visit the earth, right? Let's see. Definitely second address, man. Just can't remember the verse right now. Well, I'm not trying to search through all these, man. I'm gonna try to find it. Right, I'm gonna search. I'm pretty sure maybe it might have been the earlier chapters too. Go back real quick. Was it 9? There it is, 9. Yeah. Then shall you understand. Actually, no. He answered me then and said, measure you the time diligently in itself. And when you see it's part of the signs past, which I have told you before, right? Which I have told you before, then shall you understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Perfect, right? Now, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars, right? Earthquakes, right? What it said, nation against nation, kingdom against kingdom, right? Wars and commotions, right? Uproars, right? Then shall you understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before you, even from the beginning, right? So this is all predestinated. For like as all that is made in the earth have a beginning and an end, and the end is what? Is manifest, right? It shall surely come, right? That's Habakkuk. Should be, I think maybe 2 and 3. Let's try to get that real quick, right? You know, though it delayeth, it shall surely come, right? Where's this book at? Hold up. Am I skipping over it? Yeah. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Right? Anyways, let's get some more of second Ezra. I think it was the 15th chapter that I specifically wanted to read, talking about, the pestilences. I mean, you already seen it in Luke 21 and, Matthew 24th chapter, but, it's also listed in, second Ezra, right? And a lot of people, they disregard the Apocrypha, for whatever reason, which is, really silly, but the Apocrypha is truly a true book, and it's talk about the last days, and we're in the last days, as of this moment, right? And we're seeing all this shit play out, literally, right? At war and commotions, right? You got Trump saying, peace deals with Iran. Well, biblically, we know that's not going to happen. Saying everything fine, everything's good. It's a ceasefire. What First Thessalonians 5 and 3 say? Let's get that right now, right? So this all lines up with scripture, right? So sooner or later, people are going to realize that the Bible is in fact a true book. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Right? They are not gonna escape. Right? Anyways, behold, speak you in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in your mouth, said the Lord. Right? And cause them to be written in paper, for they are truthful. For they are faithful and true. Right? Now, jump down to 5. Behold, saith the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. Right? So, again, you constantly see that, this place specifically, and everywhere else around the world is going to be fucking chaos. But, this place has to fucking go. Right? It has to go. It literally has to go. Right? And, that verse talking about, pestilences, that's in verse 49, right? I will send plagues upon you, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste your houses with destruction and death, right? So the same things you read, in Luke and Matthew, it's the same thing in the Apocrypha, right? Now, when you jump down to verse, let's get verse 10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, right? And you might be confused, being like, what does he mean by Egypt, right? We're not in Egypt no more. Exactly. Now the book of Exodus, right? Actually, let's pull up the verses first, right? First, we're gonna pull up, Exodus 20 and 2, right? To prove that. Actually, no, let's get Deuteronomy 20, 28, and 36. Right. Then we're gonna get Exodus 22. Right. Now, in the book of Exodus, the Israelites finally leave Egypt after being placed in captivity, and, there was under strict rulership, or, no, just say slavery, right? It was basically slavery, right? It was slavery, not basically. It, in fact, was slavery, right? And, it was like that for many years, right? So now when you read Deuteronomy 28:36, the Lord shall bring you and your king which you shall set over you unto a nation which neither you nor your fathers have known, and there shall you serve other gods, woods and stone. Right? Again, let's read it carefully. Unto a nation which neither you nor your fathers have known. Right? Jump down to the last verse, and it talks about the Lord shall bring you into Egypt again with ships. Right? So, okay, we're being brought back into Egypt again. But then you're gonna say, no, we're not in Egypt right now. Those other people are in Egypt. The white people in Egypt. No, you're getting all confused, right? Because this book of Deuteronomy 20th chapter is talking about the Israelites, okay? Right? So the Israelites are going to be going into Egypt again, this time by ships, right? And keep in mind, when they left the first time, did they leave by ships? No, they left by foot. They left by foot, right? So ask yourself, what does it mean? Ships mean slave ships, right? Slave ships. That's how we got here to America. That's why we're serving other gods, woods and stone. Wood represents so-called Christianity, right? And stone, that's Islam right there, right? That's Mohawk, that's the Arab shit, right? One of the top 2 religions in the world, right? And Egypt, in this case, is representative for bondage, right? You go to Exodus 22. I am the Lord your God, right? Which have brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Now you go back to 36, right? Which neither you nor your fathers have known. We was in slavery in Egypt for a lot of years, bro. Actually, let me see how much time. I have a picture on my phone, right? I forgot how long, right? If I had to guess, it says 400 years, right? 400 years. That's a lot of fucking time, right? A lot of time, right? From 1846 to 1446 BC. Right? Actually, let's see right now, right? How long were the Israelites slaves in Egypt? Right? 430 years. Right? So you would think to yourself, they know damn well who the Egyptians are. Right? So why does it say, which neither you nor your fathers have known? So the people before us, right, our fathers before us, right? Why wouldn't they know who the Egyptians are? It's because it's not talking about literal Egypt. It's talking about the house of bondage, right? And where were we scattered to, right? With ships, right? What's the story? Bought from quote unquote Africa, right? Well, actually, no. True that. It's the quote unquote part that goes for when people say, us Negroes are Africans, right? That's the quote unquote part right there. But besides that, we're a whole different people, separate people, right? So to reiterate, right? Egypt means bondage, right? Because I was distracted, something went on. I was distracted, right? Egypt means bondage, and it refers to America, right? We're serving different religions, right? We're scattered all around the world. We was brought here, I'm pretty sure maybe in 1619, by slave ships, right? So when you go to second address, right? I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. Let's keep on going. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues. So smite America, right? America with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof, right? And you get this everywhere in the quote unquote regular Bible, right? There's prophecy of this place being fucking destroyed, right? For example, in the New Testament, you have, Matthew, um, um, 34th chapter, right? My bad. 24th chapter, right? You have Mark 13th chapter, right? You have Revelation 6, 8, 16, 18, and 19, right? When you read, well, you can also get Revelation 9, 14, and 17, right? It talks about Babylon, right? Babylon is referred to, well, America is referred to as Babylon in the scriptures, right? Because of all the fornication and idolatry, right? And harlotry, right? To put it simple, right? In the Old Testament, you can get the book of Joel, right? You can get Isaiah, the 2nd chapter, 30th chapter, 24th chapter, 34th chapter, Jeremiah, the 51st chapter, right? It's all throughout the Bible, right? And there's more as well, right? But yeah, this whole place is gonna come down, and this fucking virus shit, right? Good chance it's gonna get worse, right? It's good chance it's gonna spread here to America, right? And let's see, where exactly is it at? Right? Is the Hansa virus at? No, like the place. Let's see what country, right? And even if it doesn't say the U.S., which I'm pretty sure is not going to say the U.S., that shit, disease spreads like quick, man. Spreads quick, right? Europe, Europe is pretty far from there, right? Right? Europe is pretty far from there, right? But man, I would not be surprised if it makes its way over here, man. Like Europe is, well, yeah, it's some distance away. Either way, whether it comes to America or not, don't be surprised if you get on the news and he says there was one patient quarantined with hantavirus, over here. He's been quarantined. She been quarantined. That shit surely will make its way. And plus, those other fucking diseases that's already here, right? There's already diseases over here, but you don't hear about it on the news though. Like I remember maybe like a couple years back, right? Maybe no, actually not. Maybe like a year or two ago at max, there was some fucking disease spreading state to state, right? But shit, even the fucking food we have, right? They're recalling food and shit because there's fucking salmonella poison in the shit, right? They know damn well there's a fucking poisoning in that shit, right? They know. This is their world, of course they know, right? That's why when this whole place comes down, man, it's gonna be really a joy, man. It's gonna be a joy, because why the fuck would you want to stay here, right? Why would you want to stay here? What verse? I mean, what book was it, right? Let's see, was it 8? Right here, right? And he answered me saying, the Most High have made this world for many, right? But the world to come for few. For few, right? There be many created, but few shall be saved, right? So this place has to go, and it will go 100%. But with that, I want to give all honor, praises, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai. For allowing me to make this video, right? Lord willing, you edified. Lord willing, you see me in the next video. And with that, I'm gonna stay strong. Shalom, shalom.